Okay, so apparently, I thought I had pasta, and I do not have any pasta. Hold on, I'm just gonna take my glasses off because the glare is starting to be annoying. So apparently, I don't have any pasta. Well, that's okay because I was just making this up anyways, so I will just improvise. Okay, so instead of using pasta, I'm gonna use brown rice. And we'll make more of like a what's like a jambalaya or jambalaya or whatever it's called. And that's what I mean about not being traditional about things, because I don't know if anyone has. Well, actually, no one has listened to my podcast yet because I'm having trouble with the feed. Everything should be up tomorrow though. But in my podcast, I mentioned something about getting into an argument with someone about a vegan cookie not being a cookie because it doesn't have any butter or eggs, and in order for it to have butter or in order for it to be a cookie, it needs to have butter and eggs. So I think that that's kind of that same sort of logic when it comes to things being traditional foods. Like, who says that Jamaican jerk can't be on pasta? Or who says that it cannot be mixed up into a jambalaya? Like, who cares? I like it. It tastes good, so I don't understand what the problem is. Just because it's not traditional, my body doesn't know that it's not traditional. My taste buds don't know that it's not traditional. So, I don't really care about them, and I'll make whatever the hell I want to make. Anyway, so I put 1 cup of brown rice into this pot, and with brown rice you just do 1 cup of rice to 2 cups of water, and I'm just going to put that in there. And then to the rice, just so that it has a little bit of some kind of flavor going on here, I'm going to add just a touch of lemon juice, about a teaspoon of lemon juice, and then I'm also going to add just a little tiny bit, maybe about a teaspoon of tamari. Now, you wouldn't think of putting tamari into something with Jamaican jerk, but like I said, I like the way it tastes, and everyone else who's ever had most of the stuff that I make likes the way that it tastes. So whether it's traditional or not, I quite frankly could care less. So I'm gonna put the tamari in it, and then I guess that's about it. Actually, no, there's one more important thing I need to add. Whenever I make a meal, I usually like to keep 3 things in mind to keep it really healthy. I like to make sure that there's a vegetable. I like to make sure that there is a whole grain carbohydrate. And I like to make sure that there is some source of vegan protein for us. So, normally well, let's see, we have the tomato, so that's like our fruit and or vegetable. And I'm also going to add some peas to this when it's finished. We have our brown rice, which is our carbohydrate, our whole grain carbohydrate. And then I normally don't like to use processed ingredients, and normally I don't really use mock meat things that often. But tonight I decided to pick this up while I was out because I tried it out recently, and it's actually pretty good. And I mean, it's a processed food, but it's not that bad. I don't think I'm gonna keel over from eating this tomorrow, so it doesn't seem to be so bad. But I'm okay with using things like this every once in a while as a novelty item. And I mean, if you like to use this all the time, then go ahead and use it all the time. I'm not the one deciding what you need to eat. So this is gimme lean ground sausage style. If you've never used this before, and if you're going to use it for the first time, I will tell you this. I've experimented with it a little bit, and what I found is that it's a weird texture when you first take it out of the package. I just slid it down the side, and I'm taking it out. It does not look appetizing out of the package. It looks absolutely disgusting. I don't know if you can see how gross that looks. And the thing with it is that it has a, the texture, it's very sticky almost. It's not very appealing. But what happens is, when you cook it, it acts almost like real meat would actually act. The proteins, I guess, kind of coagulate, and instead of it being sticky, once it's heated up, it'll be nice and it'll be a nice texture in your mouth. I don't want to say it's going to be a meaty texture because that's kind of disgusting, but it makes for a nice texture. So once you cook it, it won't be soft and mushy like this anymore. So I'm gonna just break it all into little pieces, and I'm gonna put the little pieces right into the rice, so that way when the rice is cooking, our sausage, quote unquote, here will be firming up, and it'll also this particular one actually has its own flavoring, so it'll kind of flavor the rice as it cooks in there too. Just as meat would flavor the rice if you cooked it with dead animals, right? So I'm going to just finish crumbling this up here, and then what we're going to do is turn the heat all the way up to high, and after a couple minutes this is going to come to a boil. Now once the water comes to a boil, what we need to do is put a lid on it. And so you need to make sure that you have a pot that has a lid, because I know that I actually have a couple pots that don't have lids that fit properly. So that's actually one thing you need to definitely check ahead of time and make sure that you have a lid that's going to fit properly for that pan. Sorry, I'm like completely all over the place here. So we're going to get the lid. Oh, hopefully it's the right one. Okay, so once it comes to a boil, which it's almost coming to a boil right now, we are going to turn the heat all the way down to the lowest setting, and then we're going to keep it covered for 40 minutes. Don't take the lid off, it'll mess everything up. This is like one thing that you don't want to screw up is your rice. So you're going to keep the lid on for, as I'm like just taking it off freely, you're going to keep the lid on for 40 minutes, and then in 40 minutes we're going to come back and we're going to turn off the heat, and then we are going to add the sauce. So let's wait 40 minutes and then I will be right back.